Hey guys, it's Doe, and you're watching Gospel Goodies TV.
Gospel goodies.
Gospel goodies.
This is Gospel Goodies.
Congratulations for signing to Jonathan McReynolds' Life from Recording Company and RCA. How's it feel?
Feels great. I think that it's the perfect team. I think we both bring all three of us actually bring different pieces to the table, and they're needed pieces. And so I'm just watching those pieces work, and it's been a great journey overall.
Awesome. And you just wrapped up the Those People virtual tour with him too. It's still kind of insane how everything is virtual right now, like this interview. Mm-hmm. So what was that experience like?
It was actually really awkward, I'm going to be honest with you. And when I watched the concerts back, obviously it translated, but the girl who was singing back up for me, I went to her house the other night and we watched the last one, and we were just laughing because there were moments where I'd be like, woo! And it's like dead silence. You do the whole "where my people at" shout out and nobody says anything. Mm-hmm. So that part was awkward. But, I've been singing to camera since this whole thing started. And, so I'm used to it, but I really cannot wait to get back in the room with people. I have to say that.
Yeah, it's nothing like being right there in person.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't your first time working with Jonathan. It was actually your angelic voice behind Cycles, which, for some reason I didn't put two and two together. But okay. Back then, though, did you see the music ties coming together like they did?
You mean, did I see everything being as successful as it was?
Just like as far as working with Jonathan, signing to the label, from working with him back then.
No, I didn't. I forgot that he was working on a label. Actually, years and years and years before that, I was just really discouraged about music, and I was just like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. And I remember telling him, I think I'm done. and he was like, no, wait till I get my label finished. And I was like, I'm not fixing to wait around and sit for you to get your label together. And so it's so funny that here I am. But yeah, I forgot that he was doing that. And then we did Cycles, and that did really well. And then the team reached out to me almost a year ago, I don't know. And here we are.
What discouraged you from music before?
Just the whole delay of the promise, praying through that, processing through that, feeling like I missed God, that whole thing. I could talk about that for so long. And I'm so thankful for that experience, because now I can relate to people who are there, whereas I couldn't before. But yeah, that can just suck the life out of you, just pressing through that season of the waiting, and waiting for something that God said he was going to do. And you're doing your part, and you just feel like you're getting tiny little droplets from heaven, and that your prayers are hitting the ceiling, and that you're missing out on this big thing that God said he was going to do. And so I was just discouraged, and I just started thinking, maybe it's time for me to just pour my gift into some young kids and watch them flourish. And that's how I'll, my seed will bear fruit. And, it's discouraging, but it makes the high points in life all the more better when you experience the low points.
And you've been in music for a while now with your family. I'm sure a lot of people recognize you from the group Forever Jones. Do you get asked about your family a lot?
Yes, I do. And I'm so proud of my family. They're doing music still, and there's so many different talented individuals within my family group. So, I think the world's going to see over time just that there was so much more than just, the core group in there, but the core group is the foundation of it all. And, yeah, so, there were things that even doors that I got into, because people would be like, oh my God, you're the girl from Forever Jones. And sometimes you don't realize how much impact you had until you're outside of that season. And so that's been really great. And yeah, people are always like, and people are still putting the pieces together there too, because I go by Doe now. And again, I didn't know people knew me as Dominique Jones from Forever Jones. And so they're like connecting the dots, like, oh, wait a minute.
And that was one.
Yeah.
So that's that story I wanted to tell you about. True story. So I grew up, sorry God, not being the biggest fan of traditional gospel music and choirs and church music. So not, at least not the kind I was used to hearing. So I specifically remember hearing your family song, He Wants It All. And it literally opened up like this whole new world of just gospel music, because I kind of went searching for it after. And then I just learned about like the extent of it, like how vast it was with the Christian hip hop, even CCM, and just other styles of gospel music. So thank you for that, because you have a little part in how Gospel Goodies was even created. Because I was like, oh shucks, God's got some other stuff going on here.
All right. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, but even now you have such a unique style. So what would you say defined or in style the style you have?
Just my parents making us, or not making us, but opening us up to all different types and sounds of music. You know, like I grew up in the church where the pastor wrote the songs, which is my dad. He wrote the music and we sang that, you know. So I kind of grew up in that free-spirited atmosphere. We didn't do a lot of songs that were already out. And then my dad's brother took over worship, and he's a songwriter, and he wrote the, you know what I mean? So I just grew up listening to everybody and watching musicians and leaders write their own music and create their own sound for the movement that God was doing in that city. And then when we moved to Shreveport, and my dad was a staff pastor, the pastor there wrote songs. So I just like grew up around that. So there was never a limitation in my mind saying you kind of need to stick with what's popular. It was more about you have the power to express what God, the heart of God. There's a way that only you can say it, because you are original as an individual, and God has he has a unique fingerprint on your life. And so that's what I just grew up around, you know, was hearing everything and expressing whatever, you know, my version of that is.
Yeah. And so it sounds like your family had a lot of influence, and I'm always curious to hear about what other artists are vibing out to too. So who are some of your favorites?
I mean, right now, obviously, it's Jacob Collier. I mean, he's just amazing. He's just, do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you were laughing because I said obviously, and you have no idea.
No.
Yeah, he's like really great. I love Jacob Collier. I'm loving what Yeba's putting out in pieces every now and then there. So, I mean, they're the other worship songs that we're singing a lot. I know that Carrie Job and Cody Carnes are putting out really great music right now. Wonderful music. Elevation is. Todd Delaney's music is. And then Maverick City, their sound is new and fresh, and that's beautiful. And so all of those people, of course, but like the vibey people, I just love Jacob Collier. I love Yeba.
Yeah,
what they're doing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And let's talk about your new song, Brighter. I love the intention behind it, especially in the beginning. I just feel like you set it up so perfectly. You sing about how you use your brain to write songs about God and to sing for God. And I think it's pretty cool because God is so intentional when it comes to us. So how'd this song come about?
I mean, I was thinking about how, like, you know, everybody has a light, and everybody's light looks different. I think sometimes when we think about that phrase metaphorically, or if we try to picture it, right, it looks, in our minds, it looks like everybody's like a candle, and they have this little fluttering light, when really everybody's light is shaped different. And it's not necessarily just a a fire or a flame. It is that, but it's more than that. And I believe that my flame is shaped like an instrument, lyrics, a song, melodies. That's what my light looks like. And that's what my internal processor, that's how I process life and understand life and give glory to God or communicate with people. Sometimes I feel like I can say it better in a song than in a conversation. So that whole line is just saying, like, this is what my light looks like. This is how my brain works. I'm going to use that to write songs for you. And then the chorus, you know, I'm saying I don't need words, I don't need songs, but I choose to use them because my light shines brighter when it shines for you. So yeah, that's kind of the whole, and I believe, you know, there's another part where I say your light shines brighter when it shines for two. That has to do with you being other-centered, and your light is enhanced when you're other-centered.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's so deep and good. What are you looking forward to most in this new journey of yours?
The joy of it all. I want to do all of this. And I know that it's my occupation, but I want to have joy while I'm doing it. I want to look back and know that my eyes were open for every scene, for every moment, that I was soaking it up. And yeah, like I love, you know, working hard and seeing the world and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, we were talking about health and taking care of yourself before we started the interview. And I want to take joy in it. I want to take joy in impacting people. I'm not that person that believes that my body is the collateral damage of ministry. So I want to find joy in every moment. That's what I'm looking forward to and pressing into.
What would you say is one thing you want people to take away from listening to your music?
Healthy conversations. This album is going to spur healthy conversations. There are songs on there for lovers who don't know how to communicate, and that's why their relationship, even friends, that's why their relationship is not in a healthy place. I think it's very godly to be able to communicate, just as godly as it is to lift our holy hands and raise a banner and worship God. He desires for us to have holy and healthy relationships. There's songs on there about, you know, my relationship with myself, you know, and me breaking out of a wrong mentality and a wrong way of seeing myself. So I just think people are going to hear this and be like, you know, I think we need to talk about this. I think we need to talk through this. This is something that needs to change, you know. So
last but certainly not least, your hair is popping at all times. So for the people watching,
it's not. Sorry. Okay, I'm listening.
It looks really good.
There it is. Oh, thank you.
For the people watching, what's your hair secret?
I don't have one. I think that because I do have one. It's to watch YouTube. Like literally, so I've been natural since I was 12. That's 20 years of being natural. But I still feel like people who went natural after me have a better hang of it than I do. And so I watch videos, and the one thing that everybody is saying is you have to find and keep a routine. And so I've been trying to keep up with the deep condition and just like oiling my scalp. There was a season and a moment in time when the natural community was saying, don't put oil on your hair, don't put grease on your hair, like it's not good. And I started to look back and realize that my hair was healthier when my mom would oil my scalp every time she would do it. And so there are certain things that have been working for years before the natural hair thing was even a movement, when it was just us, it was our hairstyle. Mm-hmm. So I think the one thing that I've learned is that my hair does need oil, and I think that was probably the dumbest thing we could have done, is go through this phase where we didn't put oil on it, or some kind of leave-in conditioner. That helps. I have hair that soaks up moisture right away and then it's dry again. So I just keep that. I keep the leave-in conditioner on it, and I'm still trying new things. I feel like every time I get the hang of one thing, another issue arises, and I'm like, what do I do about this? My scalp is itching, but my hair is growing, you know, but I can't stop scratching my scalp. So we just have to keep learning, but find your routine and keep it.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you're embracing it and sharing it. That is funny you mentioned that too, because I remember, I mean, so I'm natural, but my hair, I just most 9 times out of 10 keep it straight
Yeah.
because I'm just very impatient.
Girl,
But
I understand. That's a lot of hair too. If your hair is that long and you're natural, that's a long time to detangle and
exactly.
yeah.
And then like I went through that phase too of like, okay, no oil, no grease or anything like that. And then one day I was just like, but my hair was thriving when mama used grease though.
Yeah. I
So
don't know
that's,
what that was.
yeah, so that's so funny. But where can people follow you to keep up with everything you have going on?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Doe Jones Music. I just started TikTok. I'm like, help me, God. I'm gonna ask my niece. She's 12. She gonna help me out. She gonna hold it down. So we've got TikTok. Obviously Instagram is where I'm most active. I love Instagram. Instagram is like a book with pictures. It's my favorite. Twitter, all of those are the same handle at Doe Jones Music. Facebook, just type in Doe. YouTube, I love posting videos on YouTube and having conversations with people that I think need to be had, and posting covers there as well. So honestly, all of those media platforms, come hang with me, come talk to me, and let's have fun.